You know, what's amazing about the Christian life is it's not our initiative, it's God's initiative. Here's what I mean by that. No one comes to him unless the Father draws him. I had zero inclination in my humanity to pursue God. In fact, there's a great Presbyterian pastor. He's since passed. He served in New York. His name was Tim Keller, author and pastor. From his Reformed theology, he broke down the subjects of man's depravity, total depravity, and then of redemption. And he says this. He says about the gospel in his statement about salvation. He says, the gospel is this. We are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. We are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. Yet, at the very same time, we are more loved and accepted in Jesus Christ than we ever dared hope. Isn't that an amazing point? And this is the point, that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Because I believe the Bible. I believe the Genesis account of Adam and Eve, who were created by God and for God in his image for his purposes. And embedded in their beginning was origin, identity, purpose, and destiny. God originated them. Adam and Eve came out of God's idea. And he formed Adam out of the dust of the earth, and drew Eve out of the rib of the man. I totally believe that. And there seems to be a short period of time. Theologians don't know the time sequence, but Adam and Eve were tempted. They did exactly what God told them not to do. And like when we tell our children, the stove is hot, don't put your hand on it. And then they go like this, to kind of test it. They did that. And they came back fallen and sinful. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. This is what Paul told the Roman church in the Epistle of Romans. So what I want to talk about is, wow, okay, that's our starting point. I need a Savior. Recently, I saw a guy with a folk guitar singing, "I don't need your salvation." And I thought, yes, you do. I thought, wow, don't harden your heart. If you hear his voice, don't harden your heart. Don't harden your heart. Don't go there. Because we desperately need Jesus. And Tim Keller, at some point in his life, understood that. And he also advocated for a personal relationship with God through Jesus Christ, rather than just religious formalism. He distinguished between just religiosity and a relationship with God. And though some of our views are different, that area is similar. And I agree with him on that. And I think the way he worded this, the gospel is this: we are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. Yet at the very same time, we are more loved and accepted in Jesus Christ than we ever dared hope. So as I read this verse in Mark's Gospel, the 12th chapter, where scribes ask Jesus, what is the commandment that is the most significant? What is the central big deal of all big deals? Jesus, without batting an eye, I think, said this: "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength." Love God. And the word is agape, which is a type of commitment that's deeper than all other appreciations, affections, interests, and inclinations. It seems to be an intensified, amplified word in the Greek language, which the New Testament was written in common Greek during a time, and it came at the right time, where it was able to spread because people had a unified language. Now, English is a really common language on earth right now. Greek was a really common language on earth at this time. And so it came out in this. So then this word agape, which was in use in Greek language, but it became, when Jesus used it, he said, man, love him more than anything and anybody else. And then he said, love your neighbor as yourself. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. I want to talk about self-esteem, and I want to talk about esteeming others and how we can really make an impact in our lives and in the world by following these commands. His commandments are not burdensome. And the chief commandment is to love. So here we go. God bless you.